Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, I do all kinds of lifestyle videos, motherhood vlogs. I'm a mom to two, under like 2.5. And then I talk to you guys about my budgeting. So today is going to be one of those videos. I'm going to take you through my May budget recap. I don't know if I have enough time to do this. I've already filmed it once and the sound was like terrible on it because of the air conditioning. Don't mind the appearance right now. If you're a breastfeeding mom, I have to wear a bra with literally everything, so is this my most aesthetic outfit? Absolutely not, but it is what it is. So I'm going to take you through my May budget. I will say, if you were triggered by my April budget recap, you will be triggered by this budget as well. We did go over budget on quite a few things. We'll talk about it. I don't mind sharing this stuff, but I will say this is probably the first time that I've like contemplated not sharing this budget, because it's not embarrassing, but at the same time, when you know people are like judging you for spending money, it's hard to show people that. So let's jump into it and we'll look at what my May budget looked like. Hopefully Poppy just woke up. Okay, let's do this quickly. Okay, here's the budget. We had about $1,800 of extra income, but 500 of that was rollover from the month prior, which is basically savings, and $1,000 we had to pull from savings. You'll see down here that we had some stuff come up. We use our savings account as like a large sinking fund. Is that what we should do? I don't know, but that's what we currently do, and that's what works for us. So some of that was for that. I got a little bit of income from two affiliate things, well, affiliate payment and then a YouTube payment. Ben's income was about $92 over what we anticipated, so that's where that $9,171 comes from. These are all basically the same. This one's a little bit off because we paid for $60 for some blinds that broke here, and we went and bought them and put them up and then just took the money off of our rent because that's what our landlord asked us to do. As you can see, a couple of these things are like a couple dollars off, but it's nothing I'm going to change. I know that I paid YouTube Premium. I don't know if it came out of last month's budget on accident or if it's just hidden somewhere in here that I don't know, but I know I paid that, but all the rest of these things were fairly normal, except I did have to pay my Epidemic Sound for the year, and I didn't realize it was coming out until it was too late. Will I renew that next year? Probably not, unless my YouTube channel has like grown a ton, just because it's not really something I need. It's for music. So we spent $3,334.89 on our budget for fixed expenses. Moving on to debt, fairly similar to what our payments will be now, about $600. Wow, $600 a month. And then here's the area that kind of goes in and out for us. So we were over budget on groceries. 320 of that was for a vegetable CSA that we signed up for that will be for like 4 months. So we spent $320, but that will cover us for a ton of vegetables for the next few months, June, July, August, I believe. So 3 months. So yeah. So I don't necessarily count that as that much over budget, but we did still go over budget by like, what would that be, like $200 basically on groceries. I did have to make 2 Nespresso orders, which might be part of it, but either way. We went very over budget on restaurants and takeout. We did get a reimbursement for about $50 of that from, some of that was from Ben's work, so we still went like $140 over budget this month. Some of it was paying for other people's food, which I don't mind doing occasionally, especially because like my sister-in-law and everybody like gives us free childcare, but it's just something that we have to be careful with doing consistently. And then yeah, there was just like a couple of things that we should have paid more attention to. If you watch my June budget with me, we are 100% going to be trying to be as close to budget as we can be. I tried to make our budget more realistic, so hopefully June's budget recap will be interesting because you won't see all this red. Medications and supplements, we went very over. Part of that is because I had to get a prescription for an infection I have in my nose, which was like $120, and it was not covered by insurance. Protein powder, and then Ben got a bunch of supplements that'll last him for like 2 months. So we were very over on that. These are our two biggest categories that we make the most mistakes in. I make mistakes here, Ben makes mistakes here. Household, we were a little bit over budget. That is because we had to buy 2 fans. We don't have ceiling fans in this rental, which is weird to me because we've just like always had ceiling fans, so we didn't even like look when we came here to check the place out. Not that we wouldn't have rented it anyway, you know, but so we had to buy 2 fans because the rooms that the girls are in, the air just like doesn't circulate well, and I'm an anxious mom and I don't want them to be hot while they're sleeping. So we bought 2 fans, which was like $90 for 2. So that's why that was a little over budget, because I didn't anticipate having to do that. We're also contemplating, Ben really wants to do cloth diapering, which sounds terrible to me, but when I think about how much we spend on diapers, especially for Poppy, it could be worth it. He wants to do it for like environmental reasons. I understand that like our utilities would probably go up, but so we're thinking about that. We went about $13 over budget on personal spending. We did go to the Brookfield Zoo this month, which is so expensive. It was what, $60 for tickets and $17 for parking. So anyways, here's a big one. We went very over budget on medical. I did budget $250 for Peak Health, which was a doctor appointment I had. However, I forgot that I had an eye doctor appointment. So this was like a budgeting mistake I made, not necessarily going over budget mistake. I didn't realize how much my copay would still be, like $100. And then I also had to pay $300 for contacts. I did just today get a $200 like card rebate that I can use on other stuff, but I had to pay the $300 up front. You know, the rebate stuff is annoying. So we were very over budget on that specific area. I'm not intending on going to the doctor monthly because my doctor is no longer covered by insurance, but I would like to try to go at least quarterly or 3 times a year. So we'll see if we can budget that. Utilities, we were a little bit under budget on, but you'll see in June that we actually got like a huge payment that came out from our electric company. So I don't know if they didn't charge us in May or what. So these 2 sections, we were a little bit over budget, but I consider those out of our sinking fund, which is why I did them blue versus red, because I don't think we did anything wrong. Hopefully I have not been out of focus this entire time. So Cora had to go to the vet, our dog, because she had an ear infection and vets are expensive. It was $139.50 for that. And then we unexpectedly had to get a new car battery, which was $273.33. So those 2 were over budget. Again, if we had sinking funds for those, we would take those out of sinking funds, but we consider our savings currently our big sinking fund. Will it always be like that? Probably not, but for right now, that's what we do. And then about $39 in miscellaneous. That was a donation that I made to a dog rescue. So we were almost $18,000 over budget. But again, some of that came from savings. Oh, I gotta go. Baby's getting upset. So with that, we also went over budget on birthdays and holidays. It's because I bought a $100 gift card for my sister-in-law, and then Ben bought me an expensive thing for Mother's Day, which I wasn't anticipating, so I didn't budget that. And then my friend Michelle, is getting married in June, and I sent her gift early, and it was fairly expensive. It's $150 because I was supposed to be in the wedding. So $150 compared to the probably $1,500 I would have spent to be in and travel to her wedding is not that big of a deal. I just didn't budget for it again. We're all seeing what the issue is here. Not necessarily the red, it's that I'm not budgeting correctly. So, and we also had a $60 Thrive Market renewal come out. If you're ever interested in Thrive Market, my link is down below. But I need to go get this baby. But we did go $143 over budget this month, which means that money had to come out of savings. So June will be better. I'm telling that to myself because while I appreciate, you know, I understand that everybody has an opinion, at the same time, we can't keep going over budget, especially if we end up staying in Illinois. Like, we're gonna blow through our savings before our next thing. Okay, gotta go get the baby. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.